Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, The Path of Me. I'm your host, Wendy Hutchinson, and today we have an incredible guest. She has just mastered balancing home, career, family. She's an entrepreneur. She's a business and health coach. She's a mentor, and she's just so inspiring. So I'm excited to have her on the show today. Her name is Melissa McCloud. Welcome, Melissa. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. Hi, everybody.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
I know that you had kind of a traditional upbringing, right? Are you from California?
I am.
And it sounded like in the beginning you were kind of just checking all the boxes, going to college, getting the corporate job. And what kind of clicked for you and made you decide you wanted something a little bit different?
Well, I was raised of the mindset, you go to college, you work real hard, you get good grades, get the best job you can, and work hard, and they'll take care of you. And my parents both had corporate careers, and my sister went to college, went to work for a big corporation, so I just followed in their footsteps and didn't really question it. And I grew up with a great lifestyle. My parents are totally amazing. Like, I won the lottery with the parent deal.
Lucky.
So that seemed like a great path, and it really was for me growing up. So I guess I just didn't really question it. So I went to UC Berkeley. I thought I might be a doctor, but decided against that. Still studied biology, went into pharmaceuticals, and ended up working for a huge pharmaceutical company. And when I was 21, I thought I had arrived, you guys. I was like driving a company car. I had a computer. I had
Expense account.
Totally expense account. Like, I thought
That was the
this
best.
was like, living the dream. Really was pretty high on myself. And after about 6 months of having the new job and this corporate career, that novelty just wore off. And I was in a job where I was selling pharmaceuticals to different doctors that have no time for drug reps, and just the state of medical insurance at the time, and I'm sure still today, they just have hardly any time for their patients, let alone this 21-year-old drug rep. Like, what does she know about patient care? Yeah. And so I used to joke I would work 10 minutes a day because I had to see 10 doctors a day. And I maybe got a minute of FaceTime with these doctors, like maybe. And so I'd wait in their office all day, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. I'd get access to the doctor between his appointments. And it was trying to do a sales message. And then he's like, okay, thanks, bye, gotta go. And that was it. 10 minutes a day. I felt like, this is it? I worked so hard. I thought I was going to actually impact patients' lives, and here I was, like, not doing anything. And it just I just knew it wasn't for me. And I had this partner at my job who was so fun. We worked together almost every day, and he was married with kids in the same job I was. And I remember thinking, like, 10, 20 years ahead, if I'm going to be this guy doing the same thing I'm doing now, totally will be unfulfilled.
No, thank you.
So, yeah, exactly. And all I knew was going to school because I'd gone to college. And I thought, well, what I need is enough income to cover my expenses, earn enough money to walk away from my job. And one opportunity really clicked. I loved the woman that was interacting with me. And she was a mom doing this work from home business around 2 little kids. And she was earning $4,000 a month. And I thought,
Oh my gosh.
this is it. If she's doing this with kids, surely I can do this thing. I've got no kids. Little did I know that moms can do anything way better than anybody else because they're moms. But that's how I got started. And long story short, in 1 year, I was able to work my home-based business in the evenings and on the weekends and the little pockets and nooks and crannies of my day on my lunch break, etc. And I walked away from my job. I was at that time about 25 years old. Wow.
So tell me how it's kind of evolved, because I know since then, obviously you've gotten married, you have 2 kids of your own, and your business has really shifted, changed. I know you've evolved through this whole process. Tell me a little bit about that. How has your business evolved, and how have you come to be more of a mentor and coach now, it seems like, as you build your business, inspiring teams of people to get fit and healthy? And tell me a little bit about that process, because I know you have mastered finding balance, setting goals, and just kind of fitting workouts in and setting goals for yourself. How have you managed all of that, and how did you get to this place?
Thanks. So like with the thing with balance is like balance is a bunch of BS. Like I'm definitely either focused on being mom, focused on whatever, having dinner with my family, focused on my workout, focused on working with the client. I'm not doing all of it and totally imbalanced. And there's some days that I'm an awesome mom and I'm not a great health coach. And there's other days that I'm a really good health coach and maybe I wasn't the best mom. And then there's some days that I'm like rocking at both of them. But the balance thing is like, I let that go a long time ago. It's just, if you think of like the perfect woman who's like meditating, who's just achieved like total peace and serenity. It's like, who wants to be that? Like, who wants her? So. You know, I don't want to be her friend.
I think that's an illusion.
Totally. So like, that's, you know, balance is just like a little BS. It's just like, I'm doing one thing at a time and making an effort to give it my best shot. And anyway, you can't do it all. And I'm okay with that. So you'll have to probe a lot since there's so much to that question. But when I started the business, I was a single woman and I was so focused on making money because I knew I just needed to cover my bills and I didn't want to have to, if I was going to quit my job, I didn't want to have to go back to work. If I was going to quit my job, I didn't want to have to lose my home. You know, I wanted to be able to still afford to cover my expenses and not, so it was all about the money in the beginning. And like I said, when I was sending away for these different work from home opportunities, I didn't even know what I was going to be doing. I thought maybe I'd be home stuffing envelopes or something. Oh my gosh.
4,000 envelopes a month.
Totally. And that's what some of the ads were like at that time. And my space is my primary business. It's network marketing. And I didn't even know what that was. It's like a different generation. Hey, you guys, I'm going to ask you. I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys to take care of yourself and give me a little time right here. Ha! See, that's the balance. There's just no balance. Can you close the door, please, honey buns? Thank you. So network marketing, maybe a different generation. Like when my parents found out I was in it, they were like, oh my God, you know, they're thinking like Amway or something like that because they have a different association with it. I just didn't know what it was. But what I learned early on is that you're helping your clients, you're helping your retail clients. And my primary company is in the health and wellness space. So I'm helping people get in the best shape of their life. I'm helping people get healthy. I'm helping people have a great relationship with food, learning how to exercise, etc. Yes, go ahead. Oh my gosh, watch a movie. Just watch a movie. My goodness. And then there's another aspect to network marketing, which is when you have clients that love your product, it's easy for them to share it with their friends, family, etc. And then they become your team members. And so the other side of it is you're teaching them how to build their own home-based business. And so network marketing or direct sales or these multi-level marketing, it's the retail and the recruiting. And you cannot earn an income unless you're helping someone get started on your products or you're helping someone make money with their own home-based business. And so that was the huge shift for me. I was so focused on making money for myself. And then I had to learn that that was never going to happen unless I was going to help someone else with their own product results or with their own business results. And so that was huge in the beginning. And that's now my favorite thing about the business.
That sounds like it was a catalyst for a shift in your mindset and your business.
I would agree. Yeah. And it's definitely one of my favorite things about the business now. I call it the good karma business. Like you're only going to be successful if you help someone else. And that's how I feel so good about promoting the opportunities these days.
So this whole role, being a mentor, and you really are like a personal mentor for people on how to, you have all these great life hacks you share with your team. You have recipes you share. You motivate them with workouts. I know you used to lead workouts. I don't know if you're still doing that, but you really help people achieve their fitness goals, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Yeah.
So let's talk about this huge goal that you set for yourself this year and accomplished. I was so impressed.
I'm still impressed.
I know. Tell us about that. It was incredible to watch.
Well, because you're such an incredible coach too. Like if you're not doing the deal and walking the walk and living what you're sharing, like it's so incongruent when you're out there in the marketplace trying to promote this lifestyle. And so such a big part of being in the health and wellness industry is being in good shape or being on that journey to get in great shape. When I started my business, I was overweight. I was always tired. I used to say I worked like a dog, I ate like a pig, and I drank like a fish. And so I definitely not the picture of health and wellness, but I really embraced the products that my company manufactures, and I had an incredible result. I lost 25 pounds in 11 weeks, and I felt so pretty for the first time. Like when my face thinned out, and I felt so beautiful. And so it was so easy for me to get excited about what I was doing. And that's how my business started growing. So that's never changed. This is my 15th year in business. And if I just had that one result almost 15 years ago, and I'm still sharing that same story now, it's like there's so much value in continuing to grow, continuing to get after the best version of you, whether it's a health result or whatnot. So for my industry, it's not just about weight loss. There's always a health result I can be sharing in the marketplace. And one thing I teach with my team is new results equal new business. And so if you have a new result, it's great to share the story, but it's so much more than that. It's your excitement and your energy changes and you stay relevant. It's something new to talk about when you're going back to your clients that have been with you for years and years and years. You're always improving. And so with the onset of social media, I had started seeing all these women compete in bikini shows. It's a category of bodybuilding. It's like a softer look than what you might think of when you think of like a bodybuilder, but it's just kind of a trendy thing right now. And there's women in my company that have been competing in these bikini competitions. So I always had it in the back of my head that maybe that would be something that I want to do. And there just happened to be a big show in Northern California. A year ago, I moved from Texas, where I met Wendy, to Northern California. Someone in my company that spearheads coaching for these competitions and puts together groups and shares meal plans and workouts, etc., is based in Northern California. So I saw her in January of this year and was just ready to go to sign up for the bikini show that was going to be, it was May 5th. And so
how much time did you have to prepare for this? Because this is a pretty bold and exciting goal, but I would be so intimidated by that. So how much did you give yourself?
I had 16 weeks. It's a 16-week prep period that my coach trains women for. 16 weeks. Yeah. I call it you say bold goal. I call it a throw up goal. Like a goal that makes you want to throw up because it's so big and scary and you don't even know if you can do it. And you're not even ready to tell people because it's so crazy. Other people would be like,
what was it like actually announcing it? Because once you announce it, you commit, What was it like?
Oh, totally.
Out there on social media and telling your team and being like, oh God, I have to actually do this now.
My team, it was people I shared with it first because they kind of knew about it. There'd actually been an incredible woman on my team who competed in a bikini show 2 years ago when she was 68 and got second place, by the way. And so I wasn't the first to do it. So my team was super supportive and I was ready to share it with them first because they had known about them and seen someone else do it that they're really close with. And then the hardest part was actually sharing it on my personal Facebook profile because I have all these friends on Facebook and many of them I know, but a lot of them I don't have a personal connection with. We're friends through friends, etc. And so it's getting over that. What are they going to think? They're going to think Melissa McCloud is doing a bikini show. who does she think she is? She's gonna get on stage in a bikini with people she doesn't even know. Or you're thinking, what are they going to think about my body? They're going to think she can't do that. It's like you go through
all of this negative stuff. Mind is so powerful. It can really keep us from our dreams, right? The mind is the biggest dream killer sometimes.
Absolutely.
Judgment and gosh.
It's like the approval. Like I knew I wasn't going to get approval from everyone.
Right.
And then
you did it anyway.
You talk yourself out. You can talk yourself out of it if you think too hard.
So easily.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you get to the day of the event. What were you feeling? Were you nervous or?
Totally nervous. I was totally nervous, but super excited. And I think a long time ago, I learned to equate nervousness with just excitement. Like you're nervous, it's nerves. It's just excitedly nervous. I'm just excited. So I know that to trick myself, hey, I'm just excited when I'm really nervous.
Yeah. So tell everyone about your results. Tell how you placed. And
the day of the show is certainly exciting, but it's the 16 weeks that's so intense. The show is just a long day, but you've already done the hard work. The hard work is making the choices, whether it's to work out when you don't want to work out, or eat something that you don't want to eat, or not eat something that you really want to eat. Like those are the daily choices that you have to make when no one's looking. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm with my kids. Like they don't know meal plan versus off meal plan. They won't think it's weird if I eat a cookie with them, but I know it's wrong. Not that it's wrong in any sense of the word. If I wanted to do the best job I could do during the bikini show, you don't eat the cookie. That's it. Bikini competitors, they don't eat the cookie.
Right.
I would never tell my normal clients, don't eat something. There's no no foods in my business. This is, what's the saying? Everything in moderation, even moderation. But with the bikini plan, it was very different. It was very strict. It was very, very, it was more disciplined than I've ever had to exercise at any other time in my life. I'd earned this dinner with my company that was for the top income earners in Northern California. And so I went to Steph Curry's wife's restaurant in San Francisco. They drove us there in a chartered vehicle, and it was past hors d'oeuvres, and it was open bar, and it was incredible food, and I couldn't have it. That was, and no one would have cared if I'd eaten something, but I would have known. It's that kind of discipline that I've never, ever, ever had to practice. And so up to the day of the show, 16 weeks later, I'm on stage, and it's that accomplishment, that feeling of I did it. It was so hard, but I did it. And I'm still
anything.
It makes you feel like you can do anything.
Yeah. When you realize you can set goals ahead of you and really double down and focus. It's amazing what you can accomplish in that. You have to tell everybody how you place, because you did
So there's several different categories, and I competed in 3 different categories. One category was novice bikini competitors. It's first timers. And there were so many competitors that they divided the group into height category. I'm only 5'4". I don't know how I ended up in the tall girls, but I was in the tall category because there were enough petite women that made up the short women category. And so I got first place of the tall bikini competitors.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'll never forget, my snapshot memory from the day is when I was on stage posing, and you're right next to these other women posing. You're all strutting your stuff, doing your thing. And my kids and my husband were in the audience, and they were just going crazy up on the chairs, cheering for me, Mommy. And you're wearing a number. They're shouting out my number 9. And it was just my husband's pride and my kids' excitement, and knowing they were with me the whole 16 weeks. And then there, the final day, it was just such a
magic.
Totally.
Magic.
So special.
Incredible. And then you were able to bring that experience and translate it back into helping the people on your team and inspiring other people to kind of maybe take a look at what they're doing in their lives from a health perspective. And
totally new. We say new solves all in my business. And so having that new result, it just gave me that different energy, that new excitement. I was promoting what I offer so differently. You know, I could now offer something else to my clients. I had a plan to help them get this incredible physique should they want it, and getting people re-energized about their own meal plan, and showing people, hey, I did this. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a working mom. I have a husband, and I still made it happen. You know, it shows people really what's possible.
Possible. Yeah. So huge. I know a huge part of your week is, and you've been doing this for a long time, is goal setting. You guys really sit down, you and your husband are really good about sitting down and not only planning your time, but also talking about your goals and your dreams. And there's something really powerful about that. So I was wondering if you could speak to that, how that's, shaped your life and impacted your life. Because I know that's such a regular practice for you, and you're so successful at hitting those markers. You have won all kinds of free trips for your family. Where were you recently? Were you in
Punta Cana?
Punta Cana.
That's when I saw you right when we got back.
Yeah. I mean, you are so great at what you do. And I know that being very focused and intentional on setting goals and creating action plans is a part of that, right? Or maybe you could share with us one of the tools that you use.
Yeah. I was introduced to goal setting when I started in network marketing. It was the first thing my mentor wanted to know. What do you want? And then let me show you how our business can be the vehicle to help you get what you want. And so that was something that was really ingrained in me when I was new in business, and brought it quickly into my personal life. And so I've been practicing this for well over a decade. So a great goal setting exercise to do at the new year or anytime is just brain dump what you want, who you want to be, what you want to have over the course of the next year, and then think short term and long term. And so I started with a book by Jim Rohn. He does a goal setting exercise, and now the name of the book is eluding me, but Jim Rohn's a business philosopher, and he passed in 2009, but had been around for decades, traveling the world speaking. Mm-hmm. And he did a book, it's like 7 Secrets to Wealth and Happiness, something like that. And in his book, he has a goal setting exercise where you write down 1 year, 3 year, 10 year, and then long-term goals. And you think about personal goals and spiritual or religious goals and career goals and family goals. And so when I set my goals every new year, I'm not just setting them for the next year, but I'm thinking long-term. And then I'm using those different categories to kind of jog what I want to do. Like, what do I want to do in my personal life? Like, I've had learn Spanish fluently forever as a goal. I still don't speak Spanish very well, but I keep writing it because it's something that's on the list. It's on the list. And then I do travel and adventure, like places that I want to go. And now I make sure that I'm married, that we've got a plan to have alone time during a trip during the year, and goals, things you want to accomplish as a family, places you might want to go, or things you might want to have at your home. And career goals are usually steps in the marketing plan in my primary business, and how much money I want to earn. And so anyway, I'm just brain dumping all these goals. And then I reevaluate the goals. And if I have all these 1 year short-term goals, I make sure I add a few more long-term goals, and vice versa. And if I have no fun and adventure goals, then I make sure that I add something in that category. You want to, you don't only want to be focused on
balance, right?
Right.
Every category kind of covered.
Every category must be covered, right? So that's the goal setting exercise I do at the beginning of the year. And then I revisit everything, and I circle the ones that will make the biggest impact on my life if I go for them. And if you can elaborate on your goals and write a paragraph or 2 on the goals, like what it looks like when you have this goal. Like if you want a house, okay, well, where is it? And what does it look like? And how big is it? Who lives there with you, etc. Mm-hmm. You can elaborate on the goal and it comes easy. It's probably pretty important. If there's a goal like learning Spanish, and I can't really elaborate what that's going to do for me right now and how that's going to impact me and my family, it's like, it doesn't usually make the list. But if there's a goal that's it's just easy to talk about, you get lit up when you think about it. Or maybe it brings you to your knees, the idea of like having a life where you don't have that in it, then that's what's going to get you. And so at the beginning of the year, I circled, there were 3 like really big goals I knew would have a huge impact on my life. One was the bikini show, one was a business goal, and then one was like a family/fun adventure goal. And it was so amazing now that I sat down and did my mid-year review. So rewind, my husband does the same goal exercise. We do it together at the new year separately. And then we get together. We usually just go to a cafe and we share our goals and we make sure that we know what each other are up to for the year, so that when you're in a partnership like a marriage and I'm staying up late working on something and my husband's like, come to bed. Well, he knows why I'm staying up late working on something. There's no like friction there. So it's so incredible to be on the same page. My husband gets up early every morning. He leaves to go work out. I'm up, but the kids are not up. So I got the whole morning routine with the kids. It's all me. But I know why he's doing that. That's the best time for him to do it. And he's going to function better at home and at work if he goes and gets his workout in the morning. So I'm so up for being on with the kids in the morning, because what it means for him and his life and his career and at home with us, it's like, I'm in. Let's go for it. Have a great workout. So you got to be on the same page. And so every week we're checking in, and we usually do it Sunday night. I think this is a Tony Robbins tagline, hour of power. You sit down Sunday night, you plan your whole week. And so we use a tool called the Passion Planner. It's a day planner. It's a calendar for the whole year. And it has a great space in the front to set up your goals for the year. And then every week you're revisiting them. At the end of every month, you're looking back, looking at what went great and what you need to do differently the next month. And then mid-year, there's a big section in the middle of the planner to review your goals. And so we just sat down. Right now it's early July. We just sat down when we were on vacation last week, and we went through our 6-month accomplishments. And some things we were able to celebrate, and then other things I knew I hadn't put an effort into that I said I wanted. And then you reevaluate things, and you either recommit or you just scratch them out. Maybe you really didn't want to.
Maybe they don't resonate anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you want to make room for something else to come in. So
that's right.
And life is unpredictable. So things happen. You have to adjust. You can't always. You can't be inflexible, right?
Amen.
The coolest thing about doing that is you see your progress, because I think so many of us are always looking forward and always trying to hit a marker, and we forget how far we've come. So revisiting is such a great idea, because you get to actually look back and go, wow, I've actually checked a lot of things off my list, or maybe I have a little more work to do. Maybe I need to show up differently in this area or that area. So it's always kind of a process of growth, right? When you're examining your goals, your dreams, and your accomplishments, it's kind of like you're always, you're keeping a pulse on where you are.
Yeah, it's really important to celebrate too. You always want to acknowledge your accomplishments and make yourself feel really good, so that you're programmed to want to work that hard or have that discipline or go for it again. My mentor used to say, repetition is the mother of all skill. Like practicing something over and over again, you get better at it. But recognition is the father. And so I always make sure that we celebrate. Definitely want to give myself the kudos and whatever, go out to a big fancy dinner, something
awesome.
Like that. Yeah.
What's really cool too is it sounds like you have a partner who's really on the same page as you.
I am really, really lucky. And it wasn't always like that.
Did you train him? How did this happen?
Well, you can never tell you know this, you can never tell your husband anything. They got to come up with the idea themselves.
Right.
And it's the same way, like when my husband and I go work out at the gym, like if he's going to correct my form, I'm like, just stay in your own lane. Okay. I got this. Like he can never tell me anything either. And so I respect that about him too.
Right.
So when I started goal setting, it was years before I met my husband. And I remember even on our 3rd date, I can tell you exactly where we are. We are at a sushi restaurant in Oakland, California. I remember telling him about my goals. And he thought that was really cool. He didn't have the same types of goals to share. And I'd been immersed in my company for so long where it wasn't unique for me to have goals and think real big and like speak them out in the world. But that's unique. And so it catches people's interest, and it's just a big deal to have big freaking goals. And so early on in our relationship, I shared my big goals with him. And so it wasn't like I was hiding it. Anyway, he just knew what I was up to and what I was all about. And it was not an overnight process, but you see your partner writing down their goals and visiting them and journaling about them and talking about them and then checking them off and making them happen. And then being a participant in some of them, like you're going to want to do your own goals too. And I remember when my husband started buying journals and started writing down his own goals and dreams. And he's always been a reader, and he's read a lot of like fiction books, and then started reading more of like the management books and then the personal development books with me. So it's like, it's been an evolution. And I would say since having kids, and our oldest is 7, that's when we started getting on the same page about, we need to have a lot of integrity here with our family and what you're up to and what I'm up to. Now that there's another person in the mix, our daughter, it's even more important to have just incredible communication. We went to a personal development seminar together, Landmark, and Landmark does a series of courses, Landmark Forum. We took separately Landmark, the advanced course we did together over a really intense weekend. And it was just so impactful for our marriage. It showed us how we operated really well as singles. We operated really well as a couple. And then when we became parents, there's just the energy is split, and we weren't taking the time to focus on each other like we used to, because you don't have as much time. You're so focused on the kid. And so taking those times to sit down together and know what each other's up to and writing down the goals, like it definitely was an evolution from, it was a function of us going to that Landmark seminar. We realized that
communication is so
oh my God.
powerful.
It's so cliche and it's so true.
And so many people can't communicate. I think in general too, men aren't allowed to express their emotions as much and communicate as much in our culture. Mm-hmm. So it's a process to, really bridge that gap and foster communication.
Definitely.
Our partners and significant others.
Yeah. One thing I've learned is that like women, we're so chatty. We love to talk. You and I could talk for 2 weeks straight. No problem. And then men just aren't wired like that. They're doers. And so for my husband and I, when we're relating, I take the opportunities when we're doing stuff together, like working out together is a big thing for us. We usually find time on Saturdays and Sundays to go to the gym together. And then we check our kids into the childcare, and then we're working out and we're talking and relating. It's like through that action, that's where a bonding happens. And then date nights, we're out doing something. Maybe we're just going to dinner, but it's like time together alone, away from the kids. And like I would never approach my husband at night and say, there's something I want to talk to you about. Like I would just never even go there. I know it's going to happen with us when we're out doing something. That's where the stuff comes up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes being side by side, they say sometimes that when you're engaged in activity, it's easier to have conversation.
It's true. I think so.
Than kind of having the serious sit down at the dining room table kind of conversation. Sometimes taking a walk, or you're like you guys like to work out, or maybe some people like to golf, or maybe it's easier for the conversation to flow.
Totally. Cooking.
Those
is like
difficult topics can come up a little more organically instead of this real awkward, you're trapped in a room with me.
Totally agree.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really helpful for the male female.
So what's next for you? I know you've got a lot going on with your business, and do you have new programs that you want to promote here that you're excited about as far as your business goes? Or
well, so last year I started a fan page on Facebook, and I am so good at promoting the retail side of my business, getting clients, helping people get in great shape, etc. And such a big part of my business is teaching other people how to have their own business. And after almost 15 years of doing this, I felt like I had a lot to share with the world.
Yes, you do.
And it's so common that moms like myself, stay-at-home moms, they get into direct sales and they want to earn extra money, earn their own money. That's a really big thing for me as a wife. I'm a corporate wife. I didn't want to be in a position where I had to be on an allowance, ask my husband for money, have him monitor my spending. That was like not at all what I wanted. And so I know a lot of other women want that. They want that freedom, that a little financial flexibility. They want that significance where they're bringing in an income. Maybe it's fun spending money for you or your kids, or maybe it's a career income that keeps you home instead of going to work. So that is who I want to impact right now. It's these other moms, probably like me. You went to college, you maybe even had a corporate career, and now you're home with the kids and you feel like that side of you has been untapped for so long, or you want to make that financial contribution to your family or just earn your own money. And so I started my fan page to really speak to those, we call them mompreneurs.
So now is that the best way to reach you, through your fan page, or
yes.
Is that the best place?
Yeah, I am always on Facebook.
She's a social media queen, people. So
yeah. What happens is I get up early in the morning so I can be on Facebook for a little bit, go through my messages before my kids get up. And then my son still takes a nap. So midday, I've got about another hour to jump on Facebook. And then in the evening, I find all the other mommies are on Facebook because the kids are in bed. And so I can chat then too. So those are times throughout the day. I'm able to communicate with my people, and I just love the Facebook platform.
Awesome. Well, I have to say, Melissa, I've been so inspired by you, just watching your journey, being a fan on your page, just getting all your life hacks. It's been really great. I know you do like a great meal prep, like once a week. You have a great way of streamlining your processes. So, you're just super efficient. I don't know how you fit it all in, but you must be really organized. She laughed. I've seen your meal prep Sundays where you make the meals for all the weeks.
Meal prep is a big deal. Yeah. One thing I share is that meal prep is the biggest game changer, time saver, money saver for me as a wife and mom. It's like every mom knows you will live in the kitchen because your kids always want to eat. They want to eat at different times and they want to eat different things. And so if you could just get your arms around your family's nutrition, the rest of the week goes so smoothly. I'm never scrambling around for dinner at 5 p.m. I'm never going to the grocery store in the afternoon. It's like my meals are done. I just got to heat it up and put it on the table. There's not even dishes when you meal prep. I mean, it's the biggest game changer. That's definitely the one thing that has made a huge impact on my life.
It's going to be a huge takeaway, y'all, from this interview. Meal, it's a thing.
Totally. It's huge.
Yeah, we're just about out of time. Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off today? It's been so great talking to you.
Well, I've learned so much from you as a mom, and thank you for sharing your story and being so brave and courageous with your journey. Do you have any top tips for mompreneurs, for especially the ones with the younger kids, since you've been through that chapter of your life? I
have to say,
what would you say?
It's not really a tip. It's just a little piece of advice is we need to be kind to ourselves, because we are so, especially when we have young kids, we're so fixated on seeing what everyone else is doing around us and focusing on our flaws and where we're falling short. And the toughest thing, I think, is to just give yourself some slack and know you're doing the best you can. And some days that's like, microwaving some taquitos and getting something out there for the kids. I mean, some days you're doing great and they're eating organic and they're brushed and they're wearing clean clothes. And I always say some days you're glossy and some days you're matte. You have that, you just come out of the salon and your hair's blowing and you just feel like that. Some days your hair is just like, you just are just like matte and like you can barely function. So you just show up as the best version of you every single day, and that's good enough.
That's enough.
We need to be kind to ourselves as women.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we're all rock stars. We need to own that.
Mm.
Don't look to the left or right. Let's just stay in our lane and just do the best you can do, with the day in front of us. I really go one day at a time. And sometimes you're just trying to survive.
That's good. No comparison. No comparison.
Yeah. Well, Melissa, it's just been a pleasure talking to you.
I love you, Wendy. Thank you. Thanks so
much for being on the show. And for all of you that are watching, I hope you'll subscribe, like, and share. The name of my company is alenialifecoaching.com. And if you'd like to learn more about me and my business, what I do, feel free to connect through my website or my email. I'll put all the information at the end of the video. And I hope you all have an incredible day. Don't forget to be kind to yourselves. Thank you.